run better. It didn't work out on a lot of other things, but he was very diligent in making sure that we weren't overspending money. It continued in the Giuliani administration, where when I was deputy mayor, first when I was budget director, I used to close budget gaps when the budget was half the size it is now, of $4 and $5 billion every year without cutting services. So you don't need to have this dance and go through this dance. We also need to focus on member items. I do not believe we need to eradicate member items or eliminate them, but I think we have to fairly and equitably distribute them. If you look at each and every council district, some people get more than others, and some people are friends of the speaker. This isn't a shot on Christine Quinn. Her predecessor did the same thing. It's what the power of the speaker should do. That's not fair to the community. If you've got a council member that doesn't do what they're supposed to do, the community, he or she is representing the community, and the community should have money. What was the third one?
Congestion pricing.
It's the last resort. I was opposed to congestion pricing. I think there are lots of things we need to do before to mitigate reducing the number of cars that are in the central business districts of Manhattan. It would probably be never, but I can't say that. It is absolutely the last resort. One of the things that we need to do, I mentioned this a couple of times, I actually mentioned it when I was running the MTA, the subway system in the city of New York was actually designed in the late 1800s. It opened up in 1908. There were no cars. We were still a horse and buggy society. If we were to build that system today, like they built in Washington, the metro system in the 70s and the 80s, at the end of every one of their lines, they have a beautiful park and ride system. They encourage people to go to the park and ride system. Don't come into Manhattan. Take the subway ride. They incorporate the price of a subway ride in the metro system into their parking facility. It should be done. We should have them here in Queens. We should have them in the northern part of the Bronx. I think it's very important that we have them and we start doing common sense things to reduce the amount of traffic